back to more of the Catholics Next Door, live from the Catholic Marketing Network Trade Show in Dallas, Texas. Here's Greg and Jennifer.
Yeah, you heard it right. We're both here today on the program. Jennifer is joining me today and the next couple of days here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Glad to have you back with me behind the microphone, baby. We are broadcasting live from the Catholic Marketing Network Trade Show as well as the Catholic New Media Conference. And we have lots of friends that we've made in the past years and friends that we've even had the opportunity to do some work with. One of our good friends, Rob Kaczmark, he's one of the founders behind Spirit Juice Studios. And we talk about them all the time. Remember a few months ago, there was a video that went online about why I love Jesus, but I hate religion. Well, got millions and millions of views all around the world. People said, yeah. Then they basically totally trashing any idea of formal organized religion. Well, Rob Kaczmark at Spirit Juice Studios, they had a way of contesting that, of providing a loving response to that idea. SpiritJuiceStudios.com is where you can check out their videos and their resources. Joining us here on the Catholics Next Door from the Catholic Marketing Network Trade Show, Rob Kaczmark. Rob!
How's it going, you guys?
I got to tell you, I was so excited to learn that you were giving a talk at the Catholic New Media Conference, and then I was so incredibly bummed when I realized you're giving the talk when we're on the air.
We can't listen.
So we can't be there for it, but you're going to be talking this week about a Catholic presence on YouTube, which is desperately needed. Talk about that.
Well, I was I got a call from Steve, and I was like, he was interested in me speaking, and I said, yeah, definitely. So I was like, we'll let you talk on Catholics on YouTube. I was like, all right, this is like
talking about
not
language.
Sure I got nice things to say. But
well, it's been a very interesting process putting this presentation together because, as you know, there's not a lot of great Catholic content on there, and so kind of give you a preview of some of the things I talk about. I find the top 10 Catholic YouTubers. And unfortunately, some of those who are in those higher spots are people that are, pretty much make fun of, when I see some of their videos, and I'm like, okay, how do I mix this in there and talk about them not in a way that's gonna, break them down, but lift them up to help encourage them to, increase their production.
the production value there. I mean, what makes it? Let's talk about that. I mean, you're a professional videographer. Okay. You work with film. Here you have two cameras, one of which I'm going to try to steal by the end of the week. I mean, you have it's great content. But that doesn't come cheap and it doesn't come easy. It requires a certain amount of talent. It requires a certain amount of skill. What makes a good Catholic video a good Catholic video? Is it content enough?
It's content and it's production quality. I mean, you need the two, because there's a lot of videos that are very entertaining that are on the web that the production value isn't that high, but it's still entertaining enough. And I think it's just a level of I'm trying to think of. Okay, could I just call out certain people that okay.
Sure, we won't tell anybody. Go ahead. No one.
We won't tell it on the radio or anything.
Just all of North America, but yeah, call out certain people.
Okay, so the number one Catholic YouTuber is Real Catholic TV.
Okay.
Michael Vorst, the Vortex.
Yeah.
I have a pencil in my hand.
Yeah,
spinning
he's
around.
spinning around. Looks like he's going whoop-de-doo.
And he's got like this sort of tornado that's right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that looks like it was done 20 years ago. I mean, just the level of production that's in there. I mean, it's a really poor green screen. It's a really poor background. The graphics look like, they're like 20 years old. And so, but I'm not questioning that.
Let me jump in there. That's Catholic media a lot of times.
I know.
That's what we are always behind the curve. So how do we stop doing that?
Get some style. Get some sense of
Says the guy with the sides of his head shaved and then gel up on his hair and I mean, I couldn't pull off your look. I don't know how to have style. I'm a 40-something-year-old dad. It's like
it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at the great filmmakers. They're not young, and I mean they're older. They've been around. Just have some sense of pride in how you're presenting yourself. I mean, it's like the same people, and I'm probably making fun of people that just go out and whatever outside. They don't really care how they present themselves. It's
it's the content.
Yeah,
they're worried more about the content than I mean the
visuals,
the actual what they're saying versus the look and feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean. So there was a number. There was Real Catholic TV was number one. After that was Rome Reports.
Okay.
Rome Reports.
And they're trying. Yeah, but it's news.
Yeah, it's news. That is what it is. After that, it was the Vatican. the Vatican, that's got to be kind of what it is too. I mean, of course, it could be much more.
See, I'm really bummed that I've been trying to transition from my Greg Willits channel over to our new Evangelizers channel because I'm worried that I'm not going to be in this list now. I'm worried. I'm like, I didn't make the list. Great, because I screwed up. Because I'm new Evangelizers. We're just getting it going. Come on, bring it.
You're just starting out. I think so. After that, then there's EWTN, which we can't.
Well, again, it's.
I mean,
the market is large, and there's many people.
I love how you're squirming so much now, Rob. Well, I'm trying not to offend anybody, yet at the same time, listen. Here's the deal: if this is quite honestly a conversation that needs to be had, and it's a conversation that at the Catholic New Media Conference, at least, is being had. We have the greatest message in the world in our Catholicism. There is no better message.
But that's the
than
problem.
What we have.
That's the problem. Because we have the greatest message, people just say, "We have the greatest message," and then just stop with that and don't care about anything else. Go out in their underwear.
We're trying to deliver.
That's essentially what the production value looks like.
So what you're saying is, don't make Catholic videos in your underwear. Is that Rob Kaczmark's number one rule?
Yeah, don't do that.
No, but it sounds like, I mean, listen, we have the greatest message, but we're to look at, well, what is the message everyone is actually consuming? It's the non-Catholic message. So why don't we make the Catholic message look like the message that everyone's consuming? That's what we need to do.
Yeah, obviously that's what I mean. That's the thing that no one gets.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, no, why would you have to do that?
Well, let's talk about that news format.
Okay.
You mentioned Real Catholic TV, and the whole point is to have that real slick, solid style of presentation because it's news, so they want to project a sense of professionalism. How can you take that and make it cool and trendy and not lose the credibility of what you're trying to say?
Well, the problem with Real Catholic TV, it doesn't even look slick. It's not even I'm sorry. If you're
Michael Boris, we offer our apologies.
Okay,
I'm saying this with love. It just looks really bad. It doesn't look like.
But how do you take something like news, which is a traditional?
Well, look at what the traditional news people do. I mean, look at
Okay, let me ask you this.
Who's your favorite then? Who do you admire?
On the news?
Yeah.
I don't really have a news favorite. I'm just saying, look at NBC,
That's
ABC.
But listen,
but
no one's good.
Michael Boris and they're not Real Catholic TV anymore. They're church militant
TV.
Oh yeah, because they made them
militant.
take the name out. It was a weird thing.
But you just said yourself, they get the most downloads, Catholic downloads, right?
Yeah,
So why should they change? They get they're number one.
This is why they should change, because what I do is I compare the top 5 Catholic YouTubers and the top 5 every other YouTubers.
Yeah.
So Real Catholic TV, the total video views is 10 million, 10 million.
Okay.
The top YouTuber is Machinima, 2 billion.
Wow.
So it's not even comparable.
So Machinima. All right. So what kind of videos does this person make?
Machinima is mostly focused on sort of entertainment, focusing on video games, movies, primarily a lot with video games, and there's other.
Is this a guy in his
accounts.
mom's basement, or
No. It's a big. I don't know how
Studio
large.
production?
Yeah. But on the same hand, it's not out of reach. I mean, there's still other channels that are much more well produced than Machinima, but
sorry.
But on the same hand, okay, so I kind of compare a couple different things, because Machinima also has a lot of videos, and so they have 2 billion views because there's a lot of videos and those views are spread across. You look at someone like, I took off all the artists, because artists like Rihanna, Justin Bieber, they all have a ton of views, and they have all small videos. They have 73 videos, and they have 2 billion, total views. But it's different. They're artists, and so it's sort of it's a music video, and you can't.
It's not a fair comparison.
Yeah, it's not a fair comparison. But you have Machinima, you have Expert Village, I think, is number 2, which I think was surprising. I'm skipping around. Failblog was 5, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of humorous stuff. You have. He wasn't the top 10, but I know he's up there. Is Philip DeFranco show? There's Ray William Johnson. Philip DeFranco is that's your new news. That's what's going on right now, which I find him extremely entertaining. And something that I want to talk about tomorrow too is that Philip DeFranco, he talks about both sides. He's very pro-choice, which is different than my opinion. But when he talks about an issue, say that comes up, he'll talk about both sides. And the problem with Catholic reporting is it just presents the Catholic's perspective, which on one hand, okay, you're Catholic, you want to listen to the Catholic perspective. but you're not getting anyone else. You're just preaching to the choir. And if you want to just create a conversation.
If he's pro-choice, is he giving both sides, but he still is, you could tell he's still leaning?
He does it. He does
it. Journalist? Is he trying to?
He does it. Okay. Well, he does it. He does it enough. In any issue that comes up, I feel like he gives an honest perspective from both sides.
Yeah.
His shows are 6 to 8 minutes long, and so he doesn't talk about he jumps to stories very quickly. But I think just that perspective of it, that like you allow to say both sides. Catholics are so afraid to like let anyone say anything contrary to what they believe in because God forbid we have a discussion.
Right. But that's a very good observation. With the presentation of Catholic teaching, it is very much a presentation, not so much
a discussion.
Dialogue.
Yeah.
And in Catholic new media, or new media in general, and this is one of the things that the Catholic Church has been accused of, and I know that Brandon Vaught, who's going to be joining us later on the program, one of the things he's talking about is, Mormons and Protestants are kicking our Catholic tails online because they're doing more listening rather than just talking at someone.
Yeah.
They're talking with people a little bit more. And with our videos, with our online media, if we try to be a little bit more creative, we might be able to facilitate more discussions, which would eventually lead to more people being open to the Catholic Church. Rob Kaczmark's joining us from Spirit Juice Studios and spiritjuicestudios.com here on the Catholics Next Door with Greg and Jennifer Willits, broadcasting live in Dallas-Fort Worth at the Catholic Marketing Network Trade Show and the Catholic New Media Conference.
I want to get back onto the discussion with YouTube again. Do you feel that it hurts the video's success to go viral if you label it Catholic?
Like we had That Catholic Show. Our intention was, maybe someone would watch it thinking we're going to make fun of Catholicism, but in fact, maybe they'd learn something. That was kind of our ulterior motive.
They're going to know, like,
they're going to sniff it out.
About 3 seconds in that you're not going to make fun of Catholics.
Yeah.
It depends what sort of it is. Every video is different. If you want to get just go back to a video that you talked about earlier with us, that why I love Jesus but hate religion, and how that got.
That wasn't yours.
No,
that was the one.
Yeah,
that
was the other one. Then we did the why I love both.
Just want to make sure no one's listening and thinking that you did a video. Your video is very Catholic. That one is not.
Yeah, but so that had Jesus right in the title. That got 19 million views, but that was just sort of a fluke, you could say. That's something that had Jesus in the title, got so many views. So something that says Catholic in the title. It's hard to say what makes a successful viral video. It's always got to be, it could be something that's very low produced, something that's highly produced, but something new, something that you haven't heard or seen before. And so, you got to kind of look at how you're going to go about this, if you're going to, be a Catholic YouTuber. If you want to have lots of content, or you're going to do like really high produced videos or a small amount of videos that are going to try to get more viral, capabilities with that.
Well, I think that's something I want to hone in a little bit on. Do you want to be a Catholic YouTuber or do you want to be labeled as a Catholic YouTuber? Yeah. Are you just a YouTuber who's Catholic and you just sort of, that's who you are, so your personality, your characteristic, and your faith is sort of represented naturally in the content.
I think we need both and. I think we need video people doing both sides.
Rather than just saying, I am a Catholic and look at me, I'm labeling myself as Catholic so that everybody knows that I'm Catholic and I'll attract Catholics.
But then you end up preaching to the choir then.
Yeah. Like Greg said, it's both. You need you need someone.
So who are you? What kind of YouTuber are you, Rob?
Well, the stuff that Spirit Juice puts out is all, it's pretty explicitly Catholic. But on the same hand, what we're doing now too, and a lot of other YouTubers will do is they'll create a second channel. And so we have Spirit Juice 2, which we have our Friday giveaways, which every Friday we have a short video where we give stuff away. And we give Catholic stuff away, but we kind of like talk about, non-Catholic stuff and try to humanize stuff, because so often like Catholics have to, be so like prop and primper, like, there's not like this like humanistic appeal to it. Your show's obviously much different, stuff on Sirius, I think it has that attraction. Leno's show as well. But I think just in general, Catholics can't like, I don't know, let us say let loose, but just show their human side.
We have flaws.
Yeah. And so I think it's important, like when you say what kind of YouTuber are us, I think it's, we have our main stuff that we do, highly produced Catholic videos, but then we also try to show like, hey, we're just normal people, we're being Catholic is just kind of part of us, and it's not necessarily going to make us weird, it's just part of who we are.
And you have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, you got to have a sense of humor.
I think that's important. Catholics are fun. We're fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Some of us aren't.
I think.
Yeah. All right. Rob Kaczmark's here from Spirit Juice Studios, getting us all in trouble today on the Catholics Next Door as we're broadcasting live. All right. So I want to ask you one more question, Rob, because this is something, and I feel like I could sit and just have this conversation with you for hours. And I think we've been having this conversation now for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 years that we've been talking about it, and I know you've been talking about it even longer. You know, we took a stab at video several years ago with that Catholic show. Would like to do more of it now. Is it a matter of, having a whole bunch of Catholic video bloggers out there? Is it having just a few that are really honing in on their craft? What's the goal, and what can we do to help people? I mean, because listen, we're complaining about it, but what's the solution, I guess?
That's a good question. The solution, I don't have like a magic solution for this. I think it's...
Well, get out of here, Rob. We don't want
I think people just have to have a desire for, higher quality Catholic media out there, whether they're already, because you already have sort of your top 10 that are doing, some good that's there. And so I think some of the top people wanting to push that production to the next level. I mean, that's what, like in normal media, you're always pushing to the next level and try to advance. And people that have no experience and just starting out playing, just get in there. I mean, a lot of these shows like Philip DeFranco show, Ray William Johnson, they started off just doing this on their webcam. It was very basic, but their content was compelling and it was new enough that people started watching them. And so if you don't have the technological experience, then you got to have the talent. And if you don't have either of them,
then get off of YouTube.
Then go on to Catholic radio on the Catholic channel, Sirius XM 129.
Then find people that can and help support that. Don't just not do it. I mean, When I got involved, I didn't know anything, so I just found people that knew what they're doing. I tried to help support that, and eventually I was able to, I learned from that and can create my own content. Now,
tell us a little bit about Spirit Juice Studios. How big is your operation now? Are you the only person? Do you have a staff of people? How big are you now?
We're growing. We actually, we just moved into a new location, which is 3 times the size of our old place.
Wow.
I just spit on you.
Thank you. No, that's Rob Kaczmark spit. I will treasure that.
It's not, there's myself and Bernie, we're both founders and partners in the company, and then we have 3 staff full-time in-house, and then we have several other people that work part-time with us. So
do you have insurance benefits? I'm just kidding.
we're getting there.
Yeah. SpiritJuiceStudios.com is where you need to go to check out the videos that they've created and see some high-quality Catholic videos where we all can be moving towards where we should be moving. I mean, listen, I think the conversation is, do we as Catholics, and no matter what kind of content that we're creating, at what point can we say, yeah, I'm as good as it can be, or do we keep pushing that envelope? And I think that's the discussion that has to be had. We have to we're never good enough. We always can be better, just like in our faith lives, just like growing. We're never going to be as Catholic as we could be or should be, but that doesn't keep us from pushing, trying harder. Same thing has to be in the kind of content that we're providing, whether it be books, whether it be newspapers, whether it be radio, whether it be television, whether it be video, online, or whatever it might be. Rob Kaczmark, SpiritJuiceStudios.com. Rob, thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, coming up here on the program, Elizabeth Scalia, the anchoress, she's going to be joining us, talking about Catholic blogging and other related things. We're broadcasting live from Dallas-Fort Worth at this year's Catholic Marketing Network Trade Show, the Catholic New Media Conference, and the Catholic Writers Guild, all happening here. And we have lots more still ahead here on the Catholics Next Door with us, Greg and Jennifer Willits.
Right here on the Catholic Channel, Sirius XM 129.